at Santeria by Sublime. One of my favorite songs of all time. If I hear it, I cannot help but sing along with it. And it is super fun to play. So, with the solo involved, there's definitely quite a bit of challenges, but there's some things to consider here with the intro and the chorus section. Some nice little techniques to get involved in your playing if they're not already there. Or if they are, then maybe some new additions to those techniques. We'll talk about some variations here. Okay, so let's look at the chords for the intro. We have an E5 power chord, so string 5 fret 7, string 4 fret 9, and string 3 fret 9. E5 power chord. G sharp major bar chord from string 6 to 1, fret 4, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4. G sharp major. And then we take that exact same shape and just fall one string towards the floor, and we get C sharp minor, which is from string 5 to 1, fret 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. C sharp minor. And then B major at the 7th fret here, which is the same shape as the G sharp major we saw, but at the 7th fret from string 6 to 1, 7, 9, 9, 8, 7, 7. B major there. Okay, so those are the chords, but we're not strumming them in the intro, we're arpeggiating them, okay? So for the E5 power chord, it's going to be 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. That's the first bit of it. 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. And then a little strike of those two lowest strings. And then 3, 4, 4, 5. So all that together, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. Strike strings 5 and 4 together. Then 3, 4, 4, 5. So just a very particular way of arpeggiating it, but it really just is a chord arpeggio. Alright, then I'm going to jump my index finger to string 6, strike that note, and just slide into my G sharp bass note here on string 6 fret 4. So for the G sharp major chord, it's going to be string 6, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Again, the string numbers on that: 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. And we'll talk about how we're setting up that hand in a second for each chord. We're going to sequence the fingers. Then I jump to the bass note of my C sharp minor chord, string 5 fret 4, and it's going to be string 5 twice. There's a little anticipation there, it comes in a little early. And then string 4, 3. I'm going to lift my pinky here, and I'm going to play string 3 fret 4 that's being taken care of by my bar, and I hammer on to fret 6. That much sounds like you can hear that hammer on. Okay? And then string 2 and 3. String 5, 4, 3. Lift the pinky, string 3, hammer the pinky back on, string 2, string 3. jump my ring finger to string 5 fret 6, and I'm going to slide up to fret 9. And then I'm going to lay my finger down for a bar, so I'm in the B chord now. So I went string 5 fret 6 to the 9th fret, string 6 fret 6, I put my B major chord on, and I'm going to strike string 2, 3, 4. And then I can just give a light strum on my 2 lowest strings there. Okay, so that B chord again. Put that together at a couple tempos for us. So starting with the E chord. Actually, let me put the E to the G sharp, and then I'll add one chord, and I'll add one more, and then I'll play it all the way through. Let's do that. So starting on the E5 chord, going to G sharp. Sorry, I missed that string. One more time. Minor. Now adding the B major. So I said something earlier that I play that note and then slide. I'm not doing that. I lied. So I'm just getting that index finger on that string and getting into position on the 4th fret and then picking it there. Okay, so little things to consider here. That would be one of them. So I'm placing my bar first for the G sharp major, so I can get that note because that's the first note I need. Place the bar, and then my other 3 fingers come down to complete the chord, so I can get the rest of the arpeggio. Then I drop my bar here, and I drop those fingers, right? That shape is the same, just moving towards the floor 1 string. Here, just if this feels really awkward to hammer with the pinky, just single that moment out. And then sliding with the 3rd finger into from 6 to 9 on string 5. And that's going to lock in position, and that can help me find the rest of the chord. So finger 3, bar, and then fingers 2 and 4 go down. Let me do that a little bit slower and then faster than we did a second ago. Faster. So work on the intro by itself. If you're not feeling super comfortable with bar chords, it'll be a bit of a challenge. Definitely using some alternate picking in there to get those arpeggios to sound, but I think sequencing those left hand fingers, just kind of figuring out that puzzle, building it step by step so you play it the same way every time, you will be successful with it. Okay, so we jump into the verse. we have the same 3 chords, but we're going to be using triads, okay? So I'm going to use a finger 3 bar, little, I don't know, maybe it's not that odd to you, but it's kind of like using a A-shaped bar if you're used to doing it that way. You just got to dip that knuckle down and you'll be able to catch strings 4, 3, and 2. So at the 9th fret, strings 4, 3, and 2, that's our E major triad. And then over here on G sharp, string 3 fret 5, string 2 fret 4, and string 1 fret 4. G sharp major triad. And then C sharp minor triad, I'm just going to let my middle finger drop to string 2 fret 5, and then my ring finger comes on, so that's string 3 fret 6, string 2 fret 5, and string 1 fret 4. And then a B major triad at the 7th and 8th frets, same as G sharp major, using a little hinge bar there, or just a 2-string bar, I guess. Fret, string 3 fret 8, string 2 fret 7, string 1 fret 7. So we've got that typical reggae syncopated strumming, and in the intro I was doing a rake and then pressing my chord down to strum up. That's pretty typical of that genre. Don't know if you necessarily hear that in the recording. Should sound fine if you do it, even if it's not there. But if you don't want to have that rake in, then it's just going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all up strums there. To get the rake in, I'm using all my fingers here to mute these strings. I'm just relaxing on the strings so I can hit the muted strings, and then I press down my 3rd finger bar there. You can see my hand engaging and disengaging, and then it'd be the same thing with all of these, just relaxing on the strings. And you can see me pressing and letting go, but I'm not letting go of the strings. I'm staying on, just letting the strings push me up, right? I'm not putting any more pressure on that. And then C sharp minor, same thing. I'm leaving this index finger in place so I don't have to lift it and create any kind of separation of sound, or perhaps clip an open string when I'm trying to readjust. I can just leave that 2-string bar in place to my C sharp minor. And then B major. Okay, so all that together, I'll play it once with the rake, once without. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... without the rake, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So basically 4 up strums per chord, 1 measure per chord there, and that just loops until you get to the chorus. In the chorus, we have an A triad, string 3 fret 6, string 2 fret 5, and string 1 fret 5. A triad, a B triad that we just saw in the verse, and then we're going to have this little transition, which I'll show you in a second, to a C sharp minor arpeggio. Same C sharp minor chord we saw in the intro. Okay, so we have our A triad. It's going to be string 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to jump up to my B triad, and it's going to be 2, 1, 2, 3. So that together. Then I'm going to lay my third finger down on string 2, fret 9, and I'm going to lay flat so I can incorporate a finger roll. Okay, so I play string 2, fret 9, then I'm going to pop up on my fingertip to string 3, fret 9. That little extension and flexing of that top knuckle, that top joint of the ring finger allows me to connect to that from string 2 to 3 without interrupting the flow of the music. So string 2, fret 9, string 3, fret 9, slide to the 8th fret, 8th fret on string 3, string 5, fret 6 there, and then string 3, fret 8 again to fret 6. I slid from 8 to 6, and then I get into my C sharp minor chord and I arpeggiate 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. All that together. Faster. That's more or less tempo right there. So same thing as what I was talking about in the intro. Put that sequence together so you're doing it consistently every time and being able to visualize what is going to happen next so you're not chasing your tail. And that leads us to the solo. So I'll just walk all the way through the solo, calling out these strings and fret numbers, and then just use the video to check out which fingers I'm using. I may point out a couple moments in particular, but a lot of it is fingers 1 and 3. There's only one moment I think or two where I incorporate my 4th finger, and then once where I use my 2nd finger. So, starts on string 5, fret 7, to fret 9, to 11, jump to string 4, fret 9, string 4, fret 11, string 3, fret 9, string 3, fret 11, with a bend there. So that was a bend on 11, and then let it fall down 11 to 9. So 7, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11 with a bend, 11, 9, 8, 8 to 6. Slide there on string 3, grab fret 8 with finger 3, and bend it. All of that together. That's one idea. Then I'm going to position myself back here in 4th position. Finger 1 is on string 3, fret 4, and finger 3 is on string 3, fret 6. So that's string 3, fret 6. Again, pull off to fret 4. String 4, fret 6. String 3, fret 4. And then there's this jump back to 2nd position, and I'm going to set fingers 1 and 3 up the same, but on the 2nd fret and the 4th fret of string 4. And I'm going to bend that note on fret 4 and pull off. So bend, let it fall, and pull off. to fret 2, pick fret 2 again, fret 4 again, pull off to 2, string 5, fret 4, string 4, fret 2, string 5, fret 4. That's a difficult little jump there to get out of this position and this position real quick. But it's that same setup with fingers 1 and 3. So okay, so that little pattern is a good thing to catch there. 2 frets separation and using fingers 1 and 3. Then we get to this little hammer-on run, so it's going to be string 6, fret 2, 3, 4. I'm holding finger 1 and I hammer with 2 and 3. Same thing on string 5, 2, 4, 3. Then I jump up to string 4, fret 4. Same thing, 1, 2, 3. Finger numbers, but fret numbers 4, 5, 6. Then jump to string 3, same position. It's going to be 4, 6, hammer on with finger 3, and then string 2, fret 5 with finger 2. Let's put all that together real quick. Okay, then we jump into 9th position here. I'm going to use my 4th finger, my pinky, on string 2, fret 12 for this bend. And then I have to grab string 1, fret 9, back to string 2, fret 12, string 2, fret 9, with finger 1 there. Then jump to string 3, fret 11, and I bend. Finger 1 is already there for the pull off to fret 9, and then string 4, fret 11, to string 3, fret 9. All that together is. And then this is a difficult little part if you want to get these little quick snappy hammer-ons in. It's going to be string 4, fret 11, pull off to 9, to string 5, fret 11, then a little grace note hammer on from 9 to 11 on string 5, to string 4, fret 9, and then a grace note pull off from 11 to 9. 7 on string 5. All that together, hard to hear it out of context. I need to play it a little bit faster. A little bit slower. Snappy pull off from 11 to 9, string 5, fret 7, and then slide back up to 9 on 5, and then fret 10 on 4. Just alternate those a couple times. Okay, almost done. And then then we have this double stop bend on string 3 and 2, fret 11. And I'm using my ring finger on string 3 and my fourth finger on string 2. Plug both of those at the same time. Bend up. And then bar with finger 1 on fret 9, string 1, 2, 3. You arpeggiate that. That happens twice, and a little bend with a double stop. And then I break away from the double stop, just string 3, fret 11. Quick bend, 9, 11, 9, and then 11 on 4. And that is slide out. So if you're playing this all with the recording, keep in mind that you may not be able to end that solo or play every single note of the verse, because you have to get into the next section, and a lot of times that's coming in, you know, with a little pickup, like on the and of 4, on beat 4, something like that. So you might have to modify it, but these are the full ideas. All right, I'm just going to play through the solo a couple times, slower tempos. You can use the beginning, the recording at the beginning for the faster visualization and play along, and of course use the recording as well. All right, here we go. Quicker than that. That is it, guys. There are a couple moments that I'm going to point out in the solo for you to focus on in particular, just to get your hands to cooperate and have a very clear plan of attack. It would be right here. Just getting that shift down. Just make sure you're comfortable getting in there, keeping those fingers close to the strings. And then, of course, the little hammer-on run. It sounds cool. It's fun to play. It's basically like a scale exercise, if you want to think about it that way, or just a fingering exercise. If you're one of those folks that, you know, the pinky tries to get away and your fingers don't want to stay close to the neck, that's a great opportunity for that, because to get that sped up, you really have to be relaxed and accurate. So you can make up all kinds of exercises and you know, even excel beyond what that riff is. There's always opportunities for that in tunes. And then the other one is right here. Getting these little grace note hammer on and pull off in can be difficult at speed. They're could be a potential for using a bar there, but I find that to be a little restrictive where it just gets me a little too tense. So I'm just walking my fingers very carefully across those strings and just staying super close. So if the solo feels like too much, then don't let that discourage you from learning the other stuff, because there's some really good things to work on there. And then let the solo come at a later date. But even if you just take like one little chunk of that solo and use it as technique building, you will definitely get something out of it. And one thing I forgot to mention is the very end of it's going to be an E5 power chord. So all of these shapes are going to be on string 5, 4, and 3. This is fret 7, 9, 9, D sharp 5 chord, 6, 8, 8, C sharp 5 chord, 4, 6, 6, B5 power chord, 2, 4, 4, A5 power chord, open, 2, 2, back to B5, and then an E7 chord, nice little dissonant chord to end on. That's from string 6 to 1. It's open, fret 2, open, fret 1, fret 3, and open. So the very end, I think I forgot to play that in the beginning. Anyways. Cool, guys. That is it. Have fun. Take your time with that one. Lots of challenges in there. Remember to get some alternate picking going in one direction or one way or another, rather. And if you have questions about that, if you can't figure it out, be happy to help out. See you in the next video. Thanks a lot.